a new age, where dreams of young hearts shall see the light of the day.
From seas to hills we claim our chance to pave the way. Unify, hand in hand, we sing an anthem of hope, an anthem of peace. Our voice tomorrow sustains, leading the change our world needs to see, the change we shall be. It's time to change the tide of fate and set our hearts on fire. And we will never stop until we break the chains that bind us down. We reap that which we sow. Let our actions flow for tomorrow. Unify, hand in hand, we sing an anthem of hope, an anthem of peace. Our voice tomorrow sustains, leading the change our world needs to see, the change we shall be.
It's a climate crisis, times are changing, mountains sinking and the oceans rising. But if we participate to mitigate this tragic state of the human race, we inculcate into the young that once united we are strong, and the world we've all been longing for is just one step out the door.
Whispers of the past we hear,
Stories of old, loud and clear.
it's time to cast away our fears.
Tomorrow's not
here, it's finally here. Unify, hand in hand, we sing an anthem of hope, an anthem of peace. Our voice tomorrow sustains, leading the change our world needs to see, the change we shall be. Let's turn the pages, change the tide, shake the soul, hearts sustain. We will seize the day. Let's turn the pages, change the tide, shake the soul, hearts sustain. We will seize the day.
dear members, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, depending on where you are located. I'm so excited to meet you all. Welcome to Unify, United International Federation of Youth, where we let our actions flow for tomorrow. I'm so excited to have you all on board and to meet you all virtually. My name is Titilayo Adebayo, and I am the regional focal point for Sub-Saharan Africa, and I am from Nigeria. All right, so feel free to put your name in the chat, please, your first name and the country you're coming from so we can get to know each other. For example, my name is Titi, so I put Titi space Nigeria. That way we can get to meet you all, know where you're streaming for. The session is streamed live on our YouTube channels and our Facebook. Feel free to share with other members so they can all be on board for this exciting opportunity. I'm so excited to meet you all. Today I'm going to be your moderator, and with me today is the presenter for this program, and her name is Susmita. She will be telling us more about Unify, what we can do, how we can all join in this revolutionary journey and play our own part. Like I said, we are all excited to meet you all. And so, first and first, before we move on to the next step, I'd like to know which of the expressions best describes how you feel right now. So, for example, in the chat, if you're feeling, we have 9 rows, so you pick from number 1 to 9. Which of these expression matches your mood right now? So for me, it's going to be a 9 because I'm excited, but at the same time, I'm anxious. So I'm looking at the corn like the squirrel. I'm happy, but then I'm anxious because it's a live streaming and you guys get to laugh at all my mistakes. So nice to meet you all. Oh, I can see responses. Oh, someone is feeling 8. That's nice. Someone is super excited. I can see 1. I can see 5. Oh, thank you. I can see all the responses. I know you are excited as I am to be on live on this program and to be coming and to for this onboarding session. Nice to meet. Oh, I can see a lot of responses. A lot of people are actually feeling relieved with their hands up. That's great. Oh, okay. So first and first, we're gonna be having I want you to, the next slide is going to show a Mentimeter code. There's a barcode on it. You can scan it and you can also use the Mentimeter code. Now, which word comes to your mind when you hear the word youth? What's the first word that comes to your mind? You can scan the barcode. A colleague of mine will be putting in the chat the link. You can use Mentimeter code. You can see it on the screen. Which word comes to mind when you hear the word youth? What is the first thing that comes to your mind when you hear the word youth? For example, for me, when I hear the word youth, the first thing that comes to my mind is energy. I believe we have the energy. We are always ready to go. We are always hyper. So I want to see your comments in the Mentimeter. When you hear the word youth, what is the first word that comes to your mind? Oh, okay, I can see some responses. Oh, catalyst of change. Yeah, problem-solving leaders, enthusiasts. Oh, superpower. That's great. Keep the responses coming. I love this because I didn't even think about this and you guys are just throwing it there. Oh, this is so lovely. Wow. Problem-solving leaders, innovation. Of course, we youth, we are innovative. We are always there. We are creative. We have the power. We have the energy. We have solutions to the current problem. That's great. That's nice. Oh, that's good. Oh, thank you so much for all the responses. Okay, so right now for us to go into the right session with no more further ado, I'd like to invite the host and the presenter for this session. Susmita, over to you. I can see comments. Susmita, are you there? Over to you right now.
Hello, Titi. Hello, everyone. Hello, dear members. Thank you so much, Titi, for introducing me and welcoming our dear members. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to our dear members, wherever you are and wherever you're watching us live over Facebook or over YouTube. So I'm Susmita Mishra. I'm the Regional Youth Focal Point for Central and South Asia, and I will be your presenter for the day. And this is our second onboarding session for our membership at Unify. So I'll just give you a very quick run through on our agenda on what we are going to discuss today. So our agenda we have introduction to the team, what it is Unify, core objectives, what is YDPA, and communication channels that all of us are going to use for our engagements, roles and responsibilities, what's next, and we will end with a series of question and answer round. So moving on to the next, the very first agenda on our item. So we have here introduction to the team. So this are our team members you will be working together with as members. So first we have Giancarlo Guillermo from Philippines. He is the Youth Engagement Officer at Water and Climate Coalition and World Meteorological Organization. And you have me from Nepal, and along with me, I have my colleague Anjanette Bantalis from Philippines, who is the regional youth focal point for East and Southeast Asia. And just to let you know, me and Janet are also the interim global youth focal point for Unify for this year. And we have here our colleagues Peshang Hamakarim from Iraq and Malik Rumdani from Tunisia, who are the regional youth focal point for Northern Africa and Western Asia. And then we have our colleague Zainab Zahid, who is from Pakistan, and also my co-regional youth focal point for Central and South Asia. Then we have next is Brian Kakambo from Uganda and Titilayo Adibayo from Nigeria. They are our regional youth focal point for Sub-Saharan Africa. Then we have our very own Zihan Zuan from China, who is the regional youth focal point for East and Southeast Asia. So moving along, we have next is Maria Mercedes Curry from Argentina and Ernesto Heda Canto from Mexico, who are the regional youth focal point for Latin America and the Caribbean. Likewise, we have Kezaya Herusano from United States, who is also our finance and partnerships lead. And we have Davila Talemay Malaya from Fiji, who is the regional youth focal point for Oceania. And we have Jay Gasper from Philippines, who is our communications coordinator, and Prakash Lama from Nepal, who is the admin assistant and graphic designer, and Paolo De La Torre from Philippines, who is the graphic designer assistant. So if you see all our layouts and our beautiful social media posts, that's coming from our communications team. So moving on to the next slide, I'm going to present to you what is Unify and how Unify was formed. So World Meteorological Organization, also I would refer to as WMO henceforward, and 10 other UN agencies realized that in this game of SDGs, SDG 6, clean water and sanitation, and SDG 13, climate actions, were lagging behind. So to bring them forward into this race, this 11 UN agencies forged together and then created Water and Climate Coalition. So the youth sector or youth unit of the Water and Climate Coalition, to have a more representative, youth representative forces, created Unify. So Unify is United International Federation of Youth for Water and Climate. Moving on to the next slide, we have here what Unify is and what are the different movement and the festival that we have in Unify. So Unify, as I mentioned earlier, United International Federation of Youth for Water and Climate, is one one branding for two initiatives. The first one is the movement. So the movement is not, Unify is not an organization, but it's a platform to bring together youths and youth organizations where we can forge our forces to work together for water and climate issues. And then we have the festival, which is the official youth conference that will bring together youths from all backgrounds, whether or not you are from water and climate sector, but if you are willing to contribute and if you have contributed to these sectors, you are welcome to the festival. So moving on, we have the next agenda on our today's session is a joint endorsement for Unify that comes from World Meteorological Organization and Office of the Secretary General Envoy on Youth have recognized Unify the festival and the federation, and we have their support. Moving forward, similarly, we also have Unify is recognized by the major group for children and youth as the official youth constituency. So Unify will be part of the UN processes and its activities henceforward. So next we have here is Unify was also presented during the briefing on the UN 2023 Water Conference preparations back in April, and Unify is recognized as the official platform to consolidate all youth inputs for the 2023 UN Water Conference by the host governments of the conference itself. And here we have another achievement, I would say, for Unify. So Unify was present at Dushanbe Water Process, and we also were the co-host for the Youth and Children Forum during the water process in Dushanbe. And here again, Unify was recognized as the Water and Climate Youth Development Plan and Agenda of Unify was recognized as the official youth input to the UN 2023 Water Conference. So moving forward, we have can we okay, so we have the core objectives of Unify. So Unify is an inclusive networking platform for SDG 6 and SDG 13 advocates. That is why we have this membership open, and we are open to have youths who are eager to work for SDG 6 and SDG 13. So the next core objective we have is global impact monitoring system. And then moving forward, we also have proper representation of the youth sector and youth participation and involvement in the coalition's processes, and youth constituency that forges partnerships to UN agencies, government, and private stakeholders. So moving next, I would be handing over again to my colleague Titi Layo. Titi, are you there?
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
here. Hello, everyone. Can you hear me? Hello, everyone. Can you hear me? All right. Okay. Thank you so much for that wonderful session. Like I said, it's been informative. Unify has come a long way, and we're so happy to have you on board with us. So just one thing before we proceed, I want to be sure that you were paying attention at the time that Susmita was talking. So in the chat, can anyone tell me the full meaning of Unify? I want to see answers. I want to see how many people were paying attention when the session was going on. I want to see. Can anyone just type in the chat the full meaning of Unify? Okay, I'm waiting for responses. So Susmita talked about Unify. I spoke about Unify when I came on. So right now I want to know, how can you just type the full meaning of Unify? Anyone knows the full meaning of Unify in the chat? Okay, you can use the Mentimeter. Also, you can scan the barcode, or you can use the link. A colleague of mine will share the link in the chat. I want to see. Okay, I can see responses. United. Oh, I can see someone say United Nations International Federation. Okay. United Nations for Youth. I can see United Nations International Federation of Youth for Water and Climate, and United International Federation of Youth. Oh, seriously? Oh, really? Guys, you weren't listening. No, 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 no. Oh, somebody got it in the chat. Oh, Michael got it in the chat. Michael Omenyo. Did I get your name right? Oh, every other person has been saying United Nations, United Nations, United Nations. Oh, only Michael. Okay, another person, Majok Kuldenk, also got it. Oh, okay. So the right answer is Unify is United International Federation of Youth. That is the correct answer. So a lot of you didn't get it. Oh, if this was live, if this was a real session right now and not virtual, you guys will be paying me right now because I'll be cashing out a lot of money because a lot of you missed it. All right. So the correct answer is United International Federation of Youth. Thank you everyone for that answer. Thank you everyone for your response. Oh, okay. All right. So to take you back into the full question. Like Susmita said, every question you have, just put it in the chat. At the end of every session of the session, we have a Q&A session where we take the questions and then we give you answers to it. So just keep putting your questions in the chat. We're taking record of it, and then after the session, we'll talk about it. All right, everyone, that will be it for now. Over to you again, Susmita.
Thank you so much, Titilayo. I would like to give a small disclaimer for our for our members here. Titilayo is very strict, and we're lucky that it's not in person. And as you said, it's a virtual onboarding session, or she would be cashing out for the mistakes that you make for not paying attention. So let's move forward with our presentation for the day. So giving you more idea about what Unify is and how we operate and what are the activities or engagement strategies that we have in at Unify. So we have 6 pillars of engagements. You can read it out on the screen, but also water and climate education, global mobility, capacity development, governance, active engagement, and resource mobilization. So once you all will get a form that will lead you to get engaged with one of these pillars, and we will share it soon with you. Just be patient with us. And moving forward, we have next on the agenda is the Unified Global Organizational Bubble. So it is very important for you to realize that how we operate and what is the organizational bubble and how where you can get more opportunities. So we have here the global movement, which covers the institutions, organizations, and individuals. So that's the entire youth sector. And then we have the national focal points, we have the global focal points, we have the Water and Climate Coalition Secretariat, and then we have the regional focal point and global operation team. I will be further giving you more in-depth explanation on all of this. So we have global focal points for the year of 2022 and 2023. You have me and Anjanette, as I mentioned earlier, as an interim global focal point. But then for the following year, we will have elections through the convention, and then every member can get an opportunity to qualify or elect as a focal point. So we have regional focal points, 2 regional focal points for each region. So that would be 14 regional focal points who would be elected among the national focal points. And we have the national focal points who would be elected at country level by the active members. So if you are, let's say, from Zambia and you have over 25 members registered from your country, you qualify to either elect yourself or any other member as a national focal point. We will soon share with you how you can elect and what are the processes in some days. So moving on, we have the Unify Convention. So the convention so the national focal points, one national focal point by default would go as a member of the convention, and the members at the convention will be electing 2 global focal points each year. And then we have the global operations team. So the 14 national global the 14 regional youth focal points will also be part of the global operations team, who will overlook each pillar based on their skills and expertise. And we have the Unified Secretariat, and as I showed you earlier, the team that is currently working at Unify. So these are the people who are currently hosting the Secretariat of Unify. So moving forward, we have here the YDPA. So I just hope that most of you know about the Water and Climate Youth Development Plan and Agenda, because most of you had also applied for the Egypt trip. And so here I would give you more insights on how the YDPA, the survey was created and what the YDPA is. So our team collected various inputs from different water and climate experts and from different reviews from researchers, articles, and scientific papers, and then came up with the existing gaps and challenges that we have at our local level, at our national level, and at our global level that youths are facing at the moment. So we put these gaps and challenges into a into a Google form, and then we collected inputs from youths, like as from our members as well, and then we came up with a different 5 dimensions as the solutions. From the solutions, we have already had multiple validation workshops where we bring together youths from around the world, and we validate these problems and their solutions, and then the youths propose different policies, projects, programs, and activities, which are also known as the PPPAs. And this PPPAs will be the face of the YDPA as the solutions, and we will be handing this over to different UN agencies, stakeholders, governments during UN 2023 Water Conference, and they will be helping us to adapt these commitments. And we also have a monitoring and evaluation mechanism for the YDPA, which you will get to know further in detail about the YDPA in the coming days. So moving forward, we have here our next slide is Unify in numbers. It is very important for you as a member to know how many members we have and what are, let's see in numbers. So we have 3,000 plus members, individual members registered for Unify so far, and we have 4,500 plus YDPA respondents from 169 countries, and we also have over 50 organizations who have registered with Unify. So moving forward, we also have okay, so here we have the timeline. So it started from the beginning of this year. In February, we did contact mapping and data gathering. And in April, we were doing data synthesis for the Water and Climate Youth Development Plan and Agenda, as I mentioned earlier. And in June, we started to lobby the YDPA and Unify itself to different public and private stakeholders. And it was back in June when we were also present at the Dushanbe water process. And we also had our very first in-person validation workshop for the YDPA in Dushanbe, Tajikistan. In November, we will be at COI 17, where we will have our very last YDPA validation workshop. So if you're going to be in COI, you will obviously get to be a part of it. And then we will also be at at COP27, where we will be presenting the very first YDPA draft. And we will also be in March 2023, we will be at the UN 2023 Water Conference, handing over the finalized version of the YDPA. And moving on, so this is our timeline for starting this year to March 2023. So we have here salient features. So these includes different internal rules and code of conduct on how we operate within Unify. And when you signed up for your membership, you should have read these rules and code of conduct at the very end of the form. So we at Unify believe that we should have a safe working space. So safety is our first and foremost priority. Then we have different rules and code of conduct. If you breach any of the internal rules or code of conduct, that would lead the members for termination. And harassment is a big no at Unify or any other place, and we stick by it. And then we also have intellectual property. So for the intellectual property, as a member, you will get to exercise, or you will get access to a lot of intellectual property of Unify. And also meanwhile, you will have access, and also you will have your intellectual property rights over your contributions to Unify as well. And then we also have attendance. So once we go into operational level of this membership, we will also start keeping track record of the attendance, on how involved you are, because we will be coming up with different forms of rewards and different other kinds of subsidies, let's say. So meetings and procedures, our meeting schedules would be done over Lettuce Meet, and the schedule announcement would be done in general channel in Slack. So um, we have Slack channels, we have different other communication channels, and the minutes of meetings. So we will be taking minutes of the meetings over every meeting, so we can keep track of our progress and where we are and how far we've gone. So the next is we have different communications channels. We have Slack for major announcement and task coordination. We have Trello for task monitoring. We have Telegram for immediate updating, and we have email for official communication. So any official communication that will come to you would be directly coming from through at your emails that you use to register for this membership. And also please note that when you registered for the very first time, you would have received a referral code. Please keep that, because that is your very unique referral code, and it will be very necessary for you to have that, even if you are electing yourself for national focal point or at any other moment. So that is your identity at Unify. So moving on, we have here, next is, okay, so what's next? What do we do next? What do we have? So we will have the national focal points elections very soon. We will open the call for the national focal point election, and the communications would be channeled through you to you through emails. And as I mentioned earlier, the basic criteria would be minimum 25 members per country to qualify to elect a national focal point. Then global operation team onboarding, which was pillar specific, as I mentioned earlier. And then we will also soon have open calls for volunteer positions at Unify. So next we have is our calendar of membership activities. So we will have monthly membership updates for the very first Friday of every month. And then we will have bi-weekly meetings between different teams, let's say the global operation teams and the pillars, the national focal points and volunteers, monthly meetings between the secretariat and the regional youth focal point, and also regional youth focal point and the national focal points once elected. So with this, this is the end of my presentation, and I would like to hand over the floor back to Titilayo. Titi, are you there?
Yes, I'm here as always. I've been here in one corner where you put me. Oh, all right. Thank you so much, Susmi, for that insightful and informative session. It was quick, it was sharp and straight to the point, just like we like it. Thank you so much. And it was colorful as well. We all agree the slides were colorful. All right. And thank you all to our new members. You made the chat a lively one. I can see a lot of interesting questions all over, people posting questions and even giving us ideas and asking questions, which makes me know that we're on the right path. Thank you so much, everyone. Because of the limited time, I'll be taking few of the questions. One of the questions is it possible to create a WhatsApp platform for all the members? The answer is yes and no. Okay. Yes, there will be WhatsApp groups according to pillars. So no, it's not going to be a general WhatsApp platform, but as time goes on, based on your skills and interests, you will be moving on to different pillars. So there will be WhatsApp group for different pillars so that you can communicate. The WhatsApp group will be set up later, and then maybe but as currently we have Slack and Telegram, which is a general chat group for everyone. But as time goes on, we will have specific WhatsApp group for different pillars. The second question says, please describe about RFP structure. That's a great one. So RFP The full meaning of RLP is Regional Focal Point. Now, the regional focal points currently, I think we have um, 5 regional focal points. So we have regional focal point, which means in region, for example, Sub-Saharan Africa, I represent Sub-Saharan Africa for now. I'm responsible for Sub-Saharan Africa for now. But you know, if you are from Africa, that we have different countries in Africa. We have Ghana, Nigeria, we have Guinea, we have Gabon. We have a lot of countries. So they will be responsible for the NFPs. What is NFPs? NFPs are the national focal point. So each country will have a focal point, a representative, which will liaise with the regional focal point, who will eventually work with the global operations team. So every NFPs in their region will be will be would answer to the RFPs. So we have regional focal points. So we cannot have more than at max 6 regional focal points depending on the geographical distribution. But we can have as many FPs as many countries that we have. So, like I said, regional focal points are responsible for the region, while NFPs are responsible for the nation. In another word, for the countries. And um, uh, uh, another question says, please, do we have country directors? Right now, we don't have, but we'll be recruiting national focal points, which can also, you can use the time country directors for. After this call, we'll be sending out emails to all our newly recruited members. And if you're interested, you can nominate yourself or you can nominate somebody else. All you need to do is fill out our survey attached in the email, follow us on all social platforms, and you can have first-hand information as we progress. Due to time, I cannot take all questions, but you can
Titi,
send us any. Yeah, can you hear
I
me?
would like to jump in. So we have a very interesting question. I can read it from the chat. So
Okay.
here's the question that is asking us, when do we also get to represent in our cool unified t-shirts? So do you have
Oh,
any answers to that? So dear members, so this would I would like to go back to what I mentioned earlier, that we will be keeping track of attendance, and who knows, if everything, we will be
who
keeping track
knows?
record of your progress and attendance, and we may even surprise you with Unify shirts. So let's see. I'm not
Oh,
committing, but let's
did
see.
you hear
That
that,
would depend
guys?
upon the progress that we have from our members. So yeah, over to you, Titi. If you have any
You can,
questions, or I think we're time bound.
yeah, we cannot take more questions, but like I said, you can send us any further questions to our email at info@unify.org. That is info at un1fy.org. We'll be responding to you. And in terms of the nice Unify polo, you can always email Susmita. She's the one making the commitments.
Oh, I didn't
And
make any commitments, I said.
she's actually one of the 2 global operations team. So you can take my word, you can email her after this session. We'll be recruiting national focal points soon. So after this call, we'll be sending emails. Please feel free to nominate yourself, or if you know somebody in mind, nominate the person. All you need to do is fill out the survey, attach in the email, follow us on all social platforms. But if you are in call, please feel free to look for us and just say, hi, I'm a Unify member. That's all you need to say. And you see how welcoming we are. Oh, thank you so much, everyone. Thank you. I know you guys have work to get back to. Some have school, some have dates, whatever you have to do. Thank you so much for giving your time. Thank you. It's been an interesting session, and I'm sure we've all learned a lot and we've met a lot of people. Thank you so
Thank you
much. It's
so much,
been an honor
everyone, for being
having you,
here.
everyone. My name is Titilayo Adebayo. Have a great day. Have a great night. Have a
Have a
great
great day.
afternoon.
Thank you,
Nice seeing
everyone,
you.
for being here in the
Bye from
call.
my side.
It was nice meeting you all. Thank you so much.
Bye. Bye, everyone. Oh, thank you.
respectfully introduce to you our Secretary General of the World Project Organization, who is here with us today, giving us some words of inspiration. Yes, Chief.
I'm a father of 5 children. The age ranges from 22 to 32, and I'm very well aware of the mindset of the next generation from our generation, and I have been positively impressed to see what your generation is thinking of many matters that are not so common for my generation.
About a thing. 'Cause every little thing's gonna be alright. We don't worry about the water. 'Cause every one of us, you're gonna unify.
I can speak for my Secretary General, but he can also, he's already advised his eyebrows, so I think we are committed to support this. I think we've shown this. You have the SG of a UN organization in this meeting that shows the commitment level that we have, so you don't need to worry about it. And how we want to make sure, and Unify is not an organization or we're not a new thing. Unify is the idea to bring all those people together. We don't want to create a competing organization for you. That's not our aim. Unify is the idea and the mechanism and the spirit of all the young youth, children, other people who are concerned and who want to contribute to a better future. So I think for me there's no an issue about trying to lead to other processes, because all the processes in there, some make Unify work. So it is not something different that needs to have relations with everything else. It is just the idea how everybody can contribute to the objectives and to that formulation of the measurable activities that need to be agreed in the 23 conference. So we don't want to create an organization, we want to create a movement. That was on John's first slide.
it's time to change the tide of fate and set our hearts on fire. And we will never stop until we break the chains that bind us down. Beneath that which we sow, let our actions flow for tomorrow. Unify, hand in hand, we sing an anthem of hope, an anthem of peace. Our voice tomorrow sustains, leading the change our world needs to see, the change we shall be.
It's a climate crisis, times are changing, mountains sinking and the oceans rising. But if we participate to mitigate this tragic